Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Happy Friday, boys. It's been a busy week for me and I'm so glad it's over. This week I found out my boss has gone to HR department against me this week, saying my behaviour is not good and attitude is poor. I'm not going to say that I'm an angel, but I'm not the worst worker on the force. I have a feeling it's more a personal issue with me. I'm not sure how to approach the situation, whether to just leave it or to fight against the biased views of my boss and back myself up in HR. I'd be grateful for anything you can add, boys. Thank you. Fucking bosses, man. Like,
Yeah, it's a horrible situation to be in because you're under pressure the whole time you're there.
yeah.
What I would do, which I regrettably didn't do when I was in a situation where I had to leave a job, I would fight against it just purely out of principle, even if you know you're not going to win. But if you think you're in the right and you're not in the wrong, I think out of principle for your own mental health, just fight against it, just so you get your point across and it's written down. After that, just don't even try and look back there. I think I held on to a lot of anger towards leaving a certain job, and if I would look back on how I could resolve a lot of that anger, it would have been fighting against it more than I did, rather than just going quietly. Do you know what I mean? And if you feel like you're being picked on, you have grounds to fucking say it.
The whole thing about poor attitude makes me laugh, right? Because we're all overworked, we're all underappreciated, and bosses have this idea in their head that like people below them have any stock in the company that they work in. Like if you're just there to make money, like you get no benefit out of this company doing well. Like there's no bonuses for you, there's no anything. And if he's treating you like crap, of course your attitude's going to be poor. Like would you expect them to be smiling because you're putting them down?
Me knowing British people, you'd struggle to find anyone from Britain that is going to have a good attitude about their workplace. Like, unless they actually love their job, there's always going to be something they moan about or get annoyed at, or there'll be something that niggles at them. You'll very rarely find someone that's happy to be there all day, every day. And sometimes bosses expect that when that's not a logical expectation.
No, but they're getting all the fucking bonuses. They're getting all the money. And not everything you do, they're getting all the praise for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And I know,
I remember
as being a manager before, I know your job is to motivate people, and some people's way of motivating people is to piss them off. To try and get them to do it, even though they don't want to do things. And the motivating people side of it is like a huge thing when it comes to managing people, and they think they're motivating you by acting all happy-go-lucky about it, when really they're just annoying you even more.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, when like a manager comes out and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's get this going," blah blah, and he's like in a really positive mood. And I'm just like, "Fuck off!" Like I'm doing the job. I don't need you to come around and fucking dance in front of me.
Hype you up like an 8-year-old.
Yeah. I remember when I was at work and we'd had loads of fucking breakdowns and piss off. We're like behind and all this sort of stuff. And I remember hearing the boss come up behind me and be like, "Oh, I'm sick of people's attitude in this place. Like, where's the work spirit?" And I felt like turning around and just fucking both barreling both of them. And I just think like the amount of shit we part for today, and you're saying about our fucking attitude. Yeah, no, I just hate that. Like, yes, some people do have very bad attitudes, but you've got to look in the context of what it's come from. You know what I mean?
And a lot of management as well. They'll be out of touch to like the likes of like the shop floor, like yourself and myself. they're out of touch to that because they're that long in management. They can't remember what kind
No.
of things niggle at you. They say they do because they're trying to motivate you, but they can't remember. It's been that long since they've been dealing with stuff in that jobs, and then you're dealing with people as well that it's a well-known thing that like, the people that aren't very good at their jobs get promoted.
Yes.
You're dealing with people that are not necessarily right for the role they're in, but they're in it, and because they're struggling in the role they're in, they're putting pressure on you. So sometimes your bad attitude is not derived from the fact that you are bad at your job or hate the place. It's derived from the management not dealing with things properly, and you are then in a like you've been ground down and ground down and ground down until they eventually get what you want. That's why you find a lot of guys that have been in places for a long time, they don't give a shit about the place, and it's because they've gone through the cycles of different management all the time, doing the same thing to them.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing thing. And I would say if you're not happy in the job because of these reasons, then it's a good thing for you to leave anyway.
Yeah.
So I think leave anyway, but I would fight against it. Like it happened recently in my place. A guy got sacked for reasons that he shouldn't have been sacked for. He fought against it. They took him back. He appealed against it. They took him back in. Then he left straight away because he was like, fuck these guys. I'm going anyway. But he won his battle.
Yeah.
And that would
I would
leave you
fight
in a
it.
better place leaving, I think.
It depends on the severity, right? Like, if they're just going to take you up and be like, "Oh, your attitude's bad," you'd be like, "Okay, what do we do about it?"
Yeah.
That's how I would do with it because I'm stubborn and childish. But like, yeah, it's like severity. Like, if they're just going to take up, give you a slap on the wrist, like it's your first thing, I would just take the fucking slap and then just leave. But if like they're really going to go towards you as like a individual, yeah, I would fight that to the fucking. I'd be like asking all my co-workers, be like, "Oh, am I all right to drop your name on?" And so like if they want to talk to you and stuff like that, like just get my fucking as much as I can.
Get your story straight and go in there. It's one thing I regret from leaving that in particular job is not fighting, and I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah, but when you get to a certain point, your company makes you feel like you are in the wrong.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're just run down and they've just belittled you, and you're like, take you into the office, you just almost feel like you have to say sorry.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I just, yeah, no. I hate workplace. But let's know how you get on, man. Like, you know, you always should fight for if they're trying to like belittle you or make you feel like you're inferior. Like they wouldn't be there without the people like us, like at the bottom. Like we're
That's
the
why
ones
they always
making the
come out and
fucking
go,
money.
the most important people here are you. That's why
Yeah,
you get that all the
but
time.
they don't fucking pay you or respect you in any sort of way. But you know, what I mean? But you know, be strong, man. We've got you back, and hopefully your next email saying you kick the fuck out of the boss and it's all good and you're at a new place. That's what we want to hear.